Late Night Cigarette, Update 1, by Tarpup. Okay, so it's been a couple of days, and the idea that I truly believed that I was in the clear makes me sick to my stomach. I need to learn from my mistakes now, otherwise I won't be around much longer to make another one. It's become clear to me that I'm a pawn, forced to play in a very sick game. It feels like every night has now become a fight to survive. I don't even feel safe sleeping during the day. I know a lot of you have been asking me to keep you updated in case something else happened. So here's last night's incident. Important information. My parents left on a month-long ocean cruise last Monday. There is no one in the house except for me and my parents' dog. And that's to no benefit. He's old as rope and blind as a bat. But he manages just fine despite the fact. So back to the update. I got home from work last night a lot earlier than usual, and I was thinking about having a chill night, ordering pizza and watching a movie. I got home around 8:18 p.m. Murphy is barking outside. I unlocked and opened the front door. As Murphy catches my scent, he trots in to greet me like he normally does. We both made our way to the kitchen. I flipped the light on and started to get myself settled in, and that's when I noticed the fridge was cracked open a bit. And I was screwed if I left it open for 3 hours. I opened it further to check the internal temperature to see what had spoiled. It wasn't even 2 degrees off. It was recently opened. Then I saw it. Something in my peripheral, a foreign object on the cutting board. It instantly caught my attention, and when my eyes fixed and focused on what it was, it hit me so hard it put the deepest crack in the hull of my sanity, and instantly began filling it up with fear and anxiety. You guessed it, another piece of paper. My knees filled with jello, and I dropped towards the note. I clawed at it with my left hand and flipped it over to see what was written, clear as day. It said, "I told you." I began to spin around frantically, positive that he had the drop on me and that I was done for. While spinning around, it hit me. I'd be dead already if that was the plan. It's clear. I was not allowed, or at least not supposed to die yet. My eyes started to twitch, and I got this pain in my brain that felt like I was having a stroke. While trying to register everything that was happening, I began scanning around for signs of forced entry. I could see every window and door was visibly closed, locked, and exactly how I had left it. I was beginning to think that I was crazy, that there was no way for him to get in, until it hit me. He had crawled through the doggy door. By this point, I couldn't argue. What was unfolding before me was real and actually happening. I wasn't having some messed up night terror. This wasn't even a crazy hallucination. As I'm kicking myself about the doggy door, I began questioning myself as to whether he was still inside or not. I launched myself down the hall to the laundry room. Where I re-hid the shotgun in an easy-to-grab, hard-to-see place more centralized between the doors and my room. I opened the door and reached in to retrieve it. My hand grasped air, and my body began to shake uncontrollably. The shotgun wasn't there. I'm not gonna lie. I threw up in my mouth the second I didn't feel my fingers touch the steel. I was certain I was dead. I desperately adopted this crackpot dream of trying to actually find something. Anything to be able to defend myself with against this lunatic, using my own gun. So I dashed into my room, desperately searching for a weapon to use, and I saw something that stopped me dead in my tracks. Neatly placed on my bed was the shotgun. My mind flips upside down. I was so confused. I had no clue how to even start processing it. So I didn't. I just grabbed the gun, slammed and locked the bedroom door, and began clearing it like a madman. With each pull back, out pops a shell. It was still fully loaded and completely untampered with. I was losing it at this point. I began talking out loud to myself. I didn't know what was going on. My brain felt like it broke the speed of sound and flew directly into the Twilight Zone. I had to pick my guts up off the floor and stuff them back inside me and move forward. After I collected myself, I thought to myself, armed or not, I'm not about to go searching the house, clearing each room. If he was hiding, I wouldn't stand a chance against the element of surprise. Not to mention that he wanted me armed and wanted me to know that he knew I was and that it made no difference. So I called the police, omitting being posted in my room with a shotgun. I was, and still am, losing every bit of my composure. I'm obviously already being hunted, and I didn't need the added fear of the police doing it to me too, or risk them trying to take my only protection. So I withheld information and barricaded myself in my room until I heard them pull up and pounded on my door, screaming, "Police!" My room and the front door are located on opposite sides of the house, so I really had to run as fast as I could to the door. I opened it quickly and startled both officers to the point that they threw their hands on their hips. From that moment on, they treated me as if I was the person they should be worried about. After letting them inside, I had to prove that I lived there. They searched the house and found nothing. Searched the backyard and again found nothing. I even made them check the attic. In their mind, there was no forced entry, nothing stolen, no one was hurt, just an obscure note that they assumed was written by me, since there was no evidence of any kind to support a crime had even occurred, or any reason why I would be a target. But with every word I spoke, they tilted their heads more and questioned if I had been taking any drugs. They told me to show them the first note, as an attempt to possibly take me seriously. This is when I really started to sweat and twitch like an addict. It wasn't where I left it. It was nowhere to be found. He had taken the first note. The cops were already looking at me like I was crazy. I was visibly on edge, and they could see I was losing every mental fiber that was holding me together. I wasn't looking to get locked away in a hospital, so it became clear my best chances were to feign calm and take things into my own hands. So I shut my mouth and let them work their way out. As they left, they reassured me that I could call again if something happens, but they hinted that I would regret the next time I wasted their time. They drove off, and as they disappeared into the night, so did my sense of security. This all ended around 9:40 p.m. Murphy and I locked the doggy door up and moved ourselves into my parents' office, where the only entrance is through the garage. The actual garage door is padlocked and disabled from opening. However, the motion sensor that turns on the light on the opener panel still worked, and it covered the only way in and out of my position, the door leading from the house to the garage. I had set my trap. The office door was wide open, with all of the lights turned off. If somebody passed that sensor and the light turned on, I was going to charge into that garage and press the barrel up against whoever set that off, and then pull the trigger. Call it a blessing, but that light stayed dark the entire night. But with every second that passed, I truly wanted the light to go off, just so I could finally be free from the torture. Finally get it over with, no matter who wins in the end. I fear he is slowly breaking me down, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's currently 2:28 p.m. I feel safe enough to write an update, and finally safe enough to leave my position. Murphy and I need food. Over the past few days, I haven't slept any, and I have a kink in my neck and red marks from having the shotgun pressed under my cheek for over 16 hours. I just called in sick to work. There's no way I can leave and risk him coming back inside. I remain suspended in disbelief. I don't know what happens next from here, and I'm too tired and terrified to even try to figure it out. This has turned into something entirely different. My parents left for their cruise last week. The police are out of the picture. I am completely on my own and alone with this psychopath for the next 21 days. playing his game. He made me look insane. He now knows it's just him and me now. It seems like I have no control. I feel trapped, but I'll figure this game out. It's the only way I will survive. I guess it's his move. I'm trying to think if I ever had a move to make to begin with, or if he has just been tricking me into making my decisions. Either way, it's far from over, and I am just stuck here waiting for him to strike again. I can't shake the feeling he is always watching somehow.